Hello and welcome all you softball fans for another installment of YSN Live Softball. We are here at the friendly confines of the Austintown Fitch Softball Complex for this All-American Conference showdown between the Austintown Fitch Falcons and the Canfield Cardinals. Both teams coming in undefeated in conference play. Fitch 15-0 on the season. Canfield is 15-1. Fitch also number 1 in the YSN Power 20 rankings. Canfield is number 2. This is the premier matchup here on a Thursday evening on the network. As we take a look in the circle for Fitch, it is going to be Sydney Watts, the flame-throwing right-hander. On the season, Watts has pitched to a 15-0 clip, 0.39 ERA, 192 strikeouts, and 18 walks in 89 innings pitched. Lineup for the Cardinals as follows. Jenna Treveri leads things off. Gianna Panunzio bats second. Marina Koenig bats third. Milena Toth is the cleanup bat. Faith Morrell bats fifth as the designated player. Haley Freedy is sixth. Leah Figueroa bats seventh. Eighth is Macy Kalina. And rounding things out, batting ninth is Bella Kennedy. Falcons defensively. McKenna Hogan behind the plate. Abby Toth at first. Caitlin Mitchell second. Ayla Ray short. Tina Montgomery third. Ashley McLean's in left. Center field is Kylie Folkwine. And right fielder is Maddie Butis. First pitch delivered to Treveri, and 1-0 to start. On the season, Treveri a .487 bat, 10 RBIs as well out of that leadoff spot. Pulls it back, 2-0 to start for Treveri. Cardinals get on by way of speed, bunts as well. That misses. 3-0 the count. Seven stolen bases to Treveri's credit on the season as well. As finding the zone is Watts with the strike, 3-1. Defense for the Falcons, playing a sort of diagonal look as now Caitlin Mitchell steps back to her original spot at second base. Corners are pinched at first and third. Bunt shown, it's taken low, and it's a 5-pitch walk for Jenna Treveri as the freshman reaches aboard to start things for the Cards. Bring up Gianna Panunzio now. .463, 10 stolen bases, also .593 on base percentage on the season for Panunzio. Plays the hot corner for this Cardinal team. She shows bunt, first pitch, strike, throw down, not in time, stolen base, Jenna Treveri. This is a Canfield team that came into today on the Cardinals. They had a total of 35 stolen bases coming into today, an 89.7 percentage on stolen bases. That's good enough for 35 steals and 39 attempts. Now make it 36 for 40. It's good for 90%. That runs low, gets away from Hogan, and advancing to third is Treveri as the Cards attempting to use the speed on the base paths to get an early run here in this AAC matchup. The 1-1 from Watts. And the sacrifice bunt trying to do the suicide squeeze, but it goes foul for Panunzio to draw the count 1-2. Falcons look for the first out in the inning as Canfield already with some offense brewing to start. Across the way at the baseball side of things, Canfield Fitch on the network as well. The man himself, DJ Yoakley, on the call for it. Bunt goes to the plate, buffed it, goes to Hogan, who tosses to third. Treveri caught up in a rundown, and the out for running out of the baseline, but going to second is Panunzio advancing. So one away, erases the lead runner, now one down. Nicely played by the Falcons. Treveri ran out of the baseline, so automatic out recorded on that. But going to second and still a runner in scoring position now for the Cards as Panunzio with heads-up base running took an extra bag. As Marina Koenig, 16 RBIs on the season. Looks for another opportunity here. First pitch strike, 0-1 to start. Nice crowd showing up today. A lot of fans behind the home plate, but now you see them lining the outfield as well. Decent weather today. Swing and a miss. Went up the ladder, forced a chase, and got the count to 0-2. Watch trying to bob and weave through early base runners. Canfield trying to strike early. Koenig down in the count, 0-2. Watts fires from the circle. Called strike 3 and out number 2 here in the top of the first. As Canfield will now look for a hit in the clutch, and it'll be the opposing pitcher in this contest in Milena Toth. And Toth, a big bat in that Cardinal order. A 400 bat, 1 home run, 13 RBIs on the season for Milena Toth. Toth takes called strike. It's 0-1 to start.
Yes, she advanced. It was 1-2-7-1 on the rundown, and she went all the way to second. Watch the Hogans McLean, who came in from
the 0-1. Holding on the trigger that time, Toth evens the count, 1-1 now. Sun is out and shining here at the Fitch Softball Complex. The 1-1 pitch now to Toth. Swing and a miss. Raised it up the ladder, forced another chase. Watts, 1 pitch from getting out of the inning. Canfield looking for 1 pitch to go their way.
Well, we might have an isolated passing job today.
The 1-2 offering from Watts. Swing and a miss. Big time strikeouts. 2 in the inning for Sid as she gets out of some early base runners in scoring position threatened by the Cards. We'll take a look at the Austintown batting order after this. Bottom of the first on ysnlive.com.
If you can dream it, you can live it. Enjoy outdoor living at its finest with outdoor furniture at Sheely's. Whether hosting picnics or dining al fresco, with outdoor dining sets, you can bring family and friends together. You can create an outdoor oasis for your patio or deck, perfect for relaxing summer evenings. And unwind under the stars when you cozy up to a nice fire. Savor the season with outdoor living at Sheely's. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Welcome back, everybody. As the Canfield Cardinals take the field defensively, we take a look into the circle as the starter is right-hander Milena Toth. Toth on the season 11-0 with a 1.09 ERA, 138 strikeouts and 12 walks over 70 2/3 innings of work on the year for Toth. As Toth and the Cardinals donning the all-black unis with the pink trim. Fitch in their white with navy pinstripe home uniforms. Taking a look at the Falcon batting order, it's going to be Ayla Ray leads things off. Caitlin Mitchell batting second. Sydney Watts bats third. McKenna Hogan cleanup. Batting fifth. Kylie Folkwine sixth is Sammy Severn. 7 is Abby Toth. 8th Tina Montgomery. And batting ninth in the order is Ashley McLean. Batting average leader for the Falcons, and Ayla Ray, 560 clip, 5 homers as well on the year. Both of those good for her team's lead. One of the tops in RBIs, multiple Falcons with double digits. Ayla Ray, one of them, out of the leadoff spot, 13 on the season.
The dimensions here at the Austintown Fitch softball complex, as you can see in the placards in both the right field and left field corners, it's 190 feet down the fair foul lines. It juts out to 200 feet in the power alleys and the gaps in right center and left center field. And although you do not see a placard in straightaway center field, it is 220 feet to straightaway center. Now leading off of the Fitch
as we lead things off, Ayla Ray bats from the left-handed side. Lefty-righty matchup to start. Defensively around the infield, Leah Figueroa catching today. Macy Kalina at first, Cindy Lutz second. Maria Koenig at short. Gianna Panunzio at third. Haley Freedy's in left. Bella Kennedy center. And Jenna Treveri is out and right. First pitch strike delivered to Ayla Ray. 0-1. Canfield got a runner all the way to third and left one on second to end the first as Fitch, first time going through the batting order as Ayla Ray down in the count early, 0-2. Using multiple pitches to get outs, Milena Toth attacks the strike zone at a high clip and a big-time strikeout, too. Not many can say they have that medal to say that they've K'd Ayla Ray, but Milena Toth is one of them. 3-pitch strikeout to start, and if it shows anything, both these pitchers ready to go in the circle. Caitlin Mitchell now steps in. First pitch, a ball. A shade under 400, 395 on the season for Mitchell. Notre Dame College commit. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, and that's the thing with Milena Toth is she's upped that velocity a bit, and she's been able to draw a lot of swings and misses this season, and similar to Sydney Watts, we mentioned the 138 strikeouts over 70 and 2/3 innings. That's good enough for about 2 per inning, so a high-volume strikeout pitcher in Toth. Mitchell gets ahead in the count, 2-1. Swing and a miss, and strikes galore. Finding the empty swings and the holes through the strike zone is Toth. That one fouls back. Falcons as a team, only 71 strikeouts amongst the lineup this season, 60 for the Canfield Cardinals. So 2 lineups that don't strike out a ton.
have a strikeout in the official record for Ayla Ray, but she has 2. Yes. That was the second one.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts as Leah Figueroa will toss to first to complete the out. As 2 away now for Milena Toth and the Cards. Taking a look at the YSN Power 20, you see the Austintown Fitch Falcons represented at the 1 spot, Canfield the 2, Champion the 3, Hoban 4, and South Ranges 5 as a part of the 20 ranked YSN teams on the season. Again, every Sunday, 7 to 8 for our Diamond Roundup show. Get the new weekly power rankings as they drop. First pitch, a ball, 1-0 to start on Watts. Watts a .500 bat on the season. Batting at .512, 3 homers, 18 RBIs. The 1-0. Tried to take something off of it, but floated above the zone and stayed there for Toth. Count goes to 2-0.
Where's she committed to again? Oh, yes. I should know that.
As the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Gets away from Watts as both pitchers here to game today. One of the tops in Division II in the Canfield Cardinals. One of the tops in Division I in the Austintown Fitch Falcons. The 2-1 to Watts. Watts takes. It's a strike, 2-2. Milena Toth looking for a 1-2-3 inning here at the bottom of the first. The pitch to Watts. Foul tipped it back and off the glove of Figueroa. We'll do it again at 2-2. First baseman Kalina takes a few steps back at the bag. The only one even is Panunzio at third. Called strike 3 as getting out of the inning by striking out the side. Milena Toth, the junior, committed to Buffalo, ready to game. As 1, 2, 3 go Fitch. We're scoreless after 1. Top of the second. Coming up after this.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
More pockets of rain as we go throughout our
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Of course, we thank our sponsors such as iSynergy on the network that make games like today possible to be broadcasted absolutely free to all of your homes. We also want to remind you, if you'd like to become a sponsor on the network, you can find our advertising page at ysnlive.com/advertise, as you could get a multitude of packages, including a rolling ad logo you see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, a 15-second commercial or a 30-second commercial, or you can even go up to the corporate package. Again, ysnlive.com/advertise to find the plan that best fits you and your company. Leading things off here in the inning, it's Faith Morrill, designated player, batting .500, 4 RBIs, and 3 doubles on the year. And a first pitch swing and a miss to Morrill. Starting to utilize her in the batting order a lot more, and she has produced. Batting in the middle of this Canfield order. 1-1 to start. So both Watts and Toth own a strikeout on one another here in this game.
335 combined strikeouts as of right now.
The 1-1 rides it up high, 2-1. Patient approach by the Cards. Work a ton of walks on the season to get on. A lot of high on-base percentages across this team. Fouled that one back, caught a little bit of a piece of it. 2-2, the count evens. Both these teams coming off of a win. Falcons beating the champion Golden Flashes, ranked number 3 on the YSN Power 20. The Canfield Cardinals coming off of a win against Steel, Amherst Steel, that is, the Comets. A big time team as well. Double-digit wins on the season, a 12-win team that was a part of the Priebus Memorial Classic out of LaGrange Community Park. Game was on the network for you as well, and you can find the recording on Canfield's page. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, as both pitchers feeling the K today, as Sydney Watts fans another. That's number 3 today for Watts. 3 for Watts, 3 for Toth, 1 away in the second.
6 for Canfield is senior left fielder, number 2, Haley.
As Haley Freedy, the .477 hitter, a .511 on-base percentage, 12 RBIs as well. And first pitch went around for the bunt. They said strike. Haley Freedy, one of those players that has stayed loyal to this Canfield program, came up through the JV works and is finally starting as a senior on this varsity squad, and she is an exemplification of hard work can pay off, as having a great season as well for the Cards, as a 1-1 count for Freedy. Righty-righty matchup in this, as the Cards look for another base runner. They're able to get Treveri on the walk in the first, Panunzio eventually took her place after getting the lead runner out on a fielder's choice, but the Canfield Cardinals, key to their success is their speed, so they go off of getting runners on, getting them over, getting them in, old school ball approach. It's the pop of Fitch versus the speed of Canfield. The 1-2 to Freedy. Called strike 3, has 4 strikeouts on the day for Watts, and freezes Freedy for the second out here in the second. Bring up the freshman catcher on the Canfield Card squad, Leah Figueroa. 3 homers on the season with a .306 average, 14 RBIs as well. Home run leader for Canfield, as Figueroa has found a lot of pop in that bat. She brings it from the bottom of the order. Foul goes back, and I think that almost crossed over the fence behind the plate. 0-1 to start. Defense plays even at the bag. Third base about a step or two in for Tina Montgomery. Shading to the pool side of Figueroa. The 0-1. Outside it goes, 1-1. The 1-1 now. Figueroa takes up high, 2-1. Both 15-win teams on the season. Canfield's lost came against Bluefield down in Myrtle Beach as a part of the Grand Strand Classic. The 2-1. One around for the bunt. Strike 2. Cardinals trying to start something with 2 outs. Falcons trying to send them down in order in response to the bottom of the first, excuse me. The 2-2 offering from Watts. High and outside. Nice at bat from Figueroa to run it full 3-2.
Now is the moment of truth here.
Figueroa, talented defensive catcher as well for the Cards, as bringing the bat along with some pop. Looks to be a staple piece on this Canfield team. But Sydney Watts freezes another one, strikes out the side. 5 in a row for Watts. She has 5 on the day. As the top of the second comes to an end, 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. We look back at the Falcon batting order after this.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning as Milena Toth finishing up her warm-up pitches in the circle. She'll be facing the 4-5-6 in the Falcon batting order as McKenna Hogan will be leading things off, followed by Kylie Folkwine and Sammy Severn. McKenna Hogan also a Notre Dame college commit as she's batting .439 on the season, 6 doubles. Baker's dozen RBI as well. First pitch, she fouls it off. Looking first pitch fastball from Toth, and it's 0-1 to start. And that might be the ultimate key with these two really dynamic arms in the circle, is jumping on those first pitches, it might be more enticing, knowing as if you fall in the count, both these pitchers have a plethora to go to as far as out pitches are concerned, and as far as spots to attack in the zone, as well as pitches to utilize. 1-1 the count on Hogan. Up and away, 2-1. Falcons getting sent down in order by way of the strikeout. Watts followed it up in the top of the second against the Cards. 8 strikeouts combined between these two pitchers. Toth has 3. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. And that rise ball, oh so enticing to Falcon bats, similar to Sid's rise ball. Milena Toth has quite the bite on it. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Up high as Hogan works the count full. Nice at bat for Hogan, as both catchers for these squads working the counts full now. The kick, the fire, the payoff. That one lined out towards center field. Base hit for the Falcons. It's past the center fielder, and Kennedy turning for second. Double number 7 for McKenna Hogan on the season. That is the team's lead, and that is a big hit to start the second inning for Fitch. Runner in scoring position, Rachel Spaulding, will take over on the base paths. 2 stolen bases on the season for Rachel Spaulding. Has solid speed in the second as the geologist Kylie Folkwine steps in. 3-sport athlete, Lady Blue Devils travel ball commit. First pitch ball to Folkwine, 1-0. Folkwine on the season, .463 bat, 4 homers, 16 RBI. Swing and a miss. Milena Toth finds another hole in the zone, 1-1. First base runner for the Falcons, courtesy of McKenna Hogan's double, has Rachel Spaulding at second. Chasing on another rise ball, 1-2, as Toth having good command of it. Starting it middle, working it right above the letters, or just about letter high. The 1-2. Fouled back, staying alive is Folkwine, 1-2. Toth has the call, the 1-2. Taken low, evening the count, 2-2. Both pitchers high strikeout volume pitchers against low strikeout volume lineups. So something has to give. As that one grounder towards short, mishandled by Koenig, as she's going to just eat it. As everybody's safe around the infield, runners will be at the corners for the Falcons. Still nobody out, and a huge opportunity for Fitch. And it's going to draw a talk in the circle from Coach Kernan and the Canfield infield. They're going to have a conversation as well, too. I believe they might be talking about impeding the baseline, but I don't think there's any case of that. There's no shaking of the head from both umpires, but wanting to double check on the look of the home plate umpire, too, to make sure and ensure the call was correct. Runners still at the corners. Sammy Severn takes aim. Severn on the season, batting .412, but a .512 on base percentage. One of the Falcons that walks more than she hits, 6 walks to just, or walks more than she strikes out, I should say. 6 walks to just 3 strikeouts on the season. And that's what makes her so impactful in the middle of this order. Most importantly, that 6 hole before the power of Toth and Montgomery. She's someone that can move a runner over, get on base when you need her to, slap singles all around too, and on top of that has plenty of speed that once she's on, she could turn singles to doubles and furthermore. Severn with runners at the corners, nobody out. Fitch threatens to get the first run across. Milena Toth trying to get out of the inning. First pitch into the turf. 1-0 to start. Swiping second. Showing bunt, and the toss down to third, not in time, but everyone holds and wisely does. It was nicely backed up by Freedy in left, and it was a heads-up play that kept a run off the board. 1-1 the count. Runners are at second and third. Folkwine able to steal second in this at-bat for Folkwine on the season. That's stolen base number 8. Sammy Severn RBI opportunity. 1-1 the count. Couple in scoring position for Fitch. Pinching at the corner is Panunzio. Waiting for the bunt. Kalina also pinches at first. Swinging and fouling it away. And that one makes its way to Coppola Field, where the baseball edition of this matchup is going on. You can find that matchup again on ysnlive.com/live for our complete list of games. The CEO himself, DJ Yoakley, on the call for it. Swing and a miss, strikeout number 4. And not many of those for Sammy Severn on the season, but Milena Toth, a different type of pitcher. 4 on the day for Toth. And a big first out here in the second. Abby Toth, big pop in the 7th spot of this order. 5 homers, 15 RBIs on a .475 clip. First pitch finds the zone, 0-1. Wind blowing out towards right center field. As righty is going to need to try to take it opposite field. Good pull situation for the lefties. 0-1. Called strike. Toss throw to third. That one off of the glove of Panunzio again. Heads up base running of Spalding. They just get back to the bag and stay there, as that one again backed up by Freedy, but the slide from Spalding, able to keep her at the base safely. 0-2 the count on Toth. Swing and a miss. Milena Toth wins the battle of the Toths in this one. And a big strikeout, 5 for Toth, 5 for both pitchers. And Tina Montgomery steps in, RBI leader for the Falcons at 20 on the season. She has a chance for a couple more. Also, 4 homers on a .414 average. Swing and a miss, 0-1 to start. Toth, 1 out away from getting out of a jam. Up high, 1-1. Tina Montgomery delivered a big hit against the champion Flashes. As the count 1-2, and Milena Toth, after runners reached at second and third, nobody out, 1 pitch away from getting out of the second inning jam. Toth, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 for Milena Toth, as she's able to draw 3 in each of the first 2 innings and gets out of a second inning jam. We remain scoreless through 2. Top of the 3rd inning coming up after this.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These 3 values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Welcome back to the top of the 3rd inning. As for the Cardinals, leading things off will be Macy Kalina. 406 bat, 4 RBIs on the season. Kalina playing at that first base corner. Looking to lead things off here for the Canfield Cards as it goes Macy Kalina, Bella Kennedy, and Jenna Treveri. Due up here in the top of the 3rd. First pitch swinging is Kalina, 0-1, drawn by Watts. Watts with 5 strikeouts on the day, Milena Toth with 6. It's been a pitcher's duel with both pitchers showing some of the best, and both pitchers getting out of some early jams as well. Who's going to blink first is what it feels like this AAC matchup is shaping up to be, as 1-1 the count. That one skips through the turf. Kalina ready. Watts is ready, the 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2. Both pitchers doing a great job of pitching in and around the zone, forcing chases out of the zone as well. It's making both of them that much more effective in the circle. The 1-2. That one just a bit inside, 2-2. Trying to freeze her on the inner 3rd. Home plate umpire says it ran in. 2-2 the count on Kalina as the count evens now. The 2-2. Called strike 3 as Watts found the spot she was looking for and freezes Kalina for strikeout number 6. 12 amongst both arms, both with a half a dozen. Bella Kennedy now tries to turn it over to the top and give him a base runner. Kennedy on the season, .357 bat. She also has a pair of home runs and 11 RBIs on the year as well. One away, top of the 3rd. Kennedy shows bunt, goes to the first baseman, Toth, as the throw to first. They say it's out, but they say interference anyway occurred as 1 out regardless. The throw beater as well as interference was declared, so either way it's an out on the field. 2 away now here in the 3rd. Back to the top of the order, Jenna Treveri, who walked for the Cardinals and eventually got to 3rd. Was caught up in a rundown between 3rd and home plate, trying to score the first run of the game. Now with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd.
Yes, sorry. My trigger finger was
Treveri looks for similar success and trying to get on. First pitch a ball, 1-0. Treveri, another one of these freshmen in this AAC that look to have such a bright future, and so exciting to see these freshmen and sophomores having such big seasons and knowing that their ceilings so much higher than the level they're already playing at, and the level they're playing at is pretty darn high. 1-1 the count as it fouls back for Treveri. Treveri bats out of the left-handed side. Similar to a younger version of Ayla Ray, where someone that can get on base, hit it to all sides of the field, isn't afraid to walk, and has a ton of speed once she gets on. 1-2 the count. Watts looking to get out of the inning in order. The 1-2 to Treveri is going to pause for a second as Treveri gets the time called. Free pitch to C for Treveri. Watts takes a lap, steps back into the circle. The 1-2 now to Treveri. Down and low. Missing that lower corner. Watts looking for it. 2-2.
Canfield has 7 singles, and a lot of them don't play.
The 2-2 count now on Treveri. Attempting to start something with 2 outs. Cardinals looking for their first base runner since the first inning. It came at the courtesy of Treveri. The 2-2 from Watts. Fouls that one back. Staying alive is Treveri.
Tomorrow we'll see more sunshine and around 66 degrees tomorrow for the...
Hoping that the summer months that are supposed to be creeping around the corner stick around as temperatures supposed to be warming up. We hope that they stay around, as the cold has certainly, cold paired with rain, has canceled plenty of games here on the network. The 2-2 count again to Treveri. Taken up high at the letters, 3-2. Another nice at bat for the leadoff bat of the Cards. Canfield looking for a base runner. Fitch looking to go 1-2-3. The payoff. Up high it goes, and Treveri works her second walk of the game. And how about that? The leadoff bat for the Cards has gotten aboard twice against Watts. 2 walks surrendered to Treveri, and now for Sydney Watts, that's walk number 19 and 20 of the season issued, both to the freshman. Gianna Panunzio now with a chance to continue with 2 outs as a first pitch strike taken. 0-1. Panunzio, 10 stolen bases. Treveri 7, good for 17 in the 2. 463 bat, 13 RBIs for Panunzio. 1 for 1 on the day, excuse me. The pitch. An excuse me check swing goes foul for an 0-2 count. Watts quickly getting ahead of Panunzio. Looking for the 3rd out in the inning. Canfield worked another base runner. Treveri having some fantastic plate appearances against Sydney Watts. So many fans here too, starting to line the right field wall. The 0-2. Taken outside for a ball. That one cut off. Nice play by Caitlin Mitchell. Keeping it on the infield as swiping second. Treveri, another stolen base for her on the season, on the day. And that's stolen base number 9 now on the campaign. Came in with 7. She has swiped 2 in the game. The 1-2 to Panunzio. Fouled it back. It'll stay 1-2. Starting to go through the order the second time. Second look for Panunzio against Watts, as both these teams pretty used to each other, have had prior experience, a lot of them against these arms before as well. But both of these pitchers well improved from a year ago. The 1-2. Holding the trigger, Panunzio evens the count. Nice hold by the third baseman here for the Cards. Count 2-2. With the pitch to Panunzio. Runs it low, working another full count from 0-2 to 3-2. Panunzio laying off the junk and not allowing herself to chase. Great discipline in the box. She's ahead in the count. Trying to get two aboard after the first two were out for the Canfield Cardinals. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Big time strikeout for Sydney Watts. She gets her 7th on the day and gets out of another jam with a runner in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless with the Falcons trying to change that after this.
We know when it comes to insurance, you have so many choices. But if you're looking for someone who lives in your community, someone who cheers for your community, and someone who works for your community like you're part of our family, well then please let us introduce ourselves. Hi, we're Heiner Insurance. How can we help?
You can see these players, get to know these names, get to know these coaches at a more personal level than truly you ever did before. And I think YSN has been a big influential factor in bringing us that level of personal connection that we haven't seen any other company truly be able to do. If my legacy goes down as being the voice of the Austintown Fitch Falcons, I can hang my hat on that and be proud of it at the end of the day. My name is Ty Bartel, and my sports network is your sports network. Welcome back, everybody, as it's the bottom of the order, then the top 9-hole hitter and Ashley McLean, Ayla Ray, Caitlin Mitchell due up here in the bottom of the third inning. Both pitchers getting out of some jams. Milena Toth did in the bottom of the second. Runners at second and third, nobody out. 3 straight strikeouts for Toth as she has 6 on the day. Watts has 7, and it has been quite a day for the arms in the circle. First pitch, called strike, 0-1. McLean making her commitment to Ursuline College today. Congratulations out to the Falcon left fielder. Another Austintown Fitch Falcon that is going to continue their career at the next level. 1-1 the count. Outside on the ball from Toth. McLean 2. Swings and misses, 1-2. McLean on the season, .312 clip, 2 RBIs, couple doubles, but she does have a .500 on base percentage with the walk she's been able to work. 1-2 the count, trying to bring up the top of the order and give them a base runner. Toth trying to continue in her groove. 6 strikeouts to this point. Low and into the turf, kicked up some pellets, it's 2-2. The scary, or at least intimidating clouds have seemed to pass. Plenty of blue skies showing over top of the Fitch softball complex. And swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Milena Toth. And boy, oh boy, is Toth dealing. A lot of overcast overhead, but the sun's still finding ways to peek through, and it's definitely warming up the ballpark. Back to the top. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Only 2 on the season for Ayla Ray. But Milena Toth holds one of those honors. 0-1 to start. Second time going through the order now are the Falcons. Getting their second looks against Toth. Oh, 1. Called strike. 0-2. Milena Toth, the 0-2. Fouled it back, did Ray. Count will stay 0-2. Staying aggressive is Milena Toth in that circle, throwing a ton of strikes at a fantastic percentage. The 0-2. That one chopped to short as Koenig able to toss to first to retire Ray. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Toth on 47 pitches now, continuing to deal with 2 down in the bottom of the third. Bring up Caitlin Mitchell, 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the day.
And now standing in against her is second baseman number 4, Caitlin Mitchell.
Swinging up the ladder as Toth forcing a lot of chases on that rise ball. The 0-1. That one lined past the glove of Milena Toth. The throw from second gets her in time as Sydney Lutz there to throw a seed to the first base bag for out number 3 as the Falcons go in order with the pitching of Milena Toth drawing another strikeout. She has 7. Watts has 7. We're 3 up, 3 down in a scoreless ball game. Heading to the 4th after this. YSNLive.com.
HVAC causing havoc? Has your furnace gone mad? Commercial or residential, 24/7. Call your hometown hero. Call Mighty Mike.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them.
To do anything that would convenience the customer.
And every day I'll go the extra mile so they can trust us.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the top of the 4th inning as the Canfield Bats coming back up and around as leading things off here for Canfield, Marina Koenig. Milena Toth, Faith Morrill. That's 3, 4, 5 in that Canfield order. Koenig 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out against Watts earlier. 0-1 to start. Both pitchers doing a phenomenal job through 3 innings of work. Big crowd here for both the baseball and softball edition of this All-American Conference rivalry. The 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Watts at 53 pitches here in the 4th.
Sydney Watts now at 53 pitches for the ball game now.
The 1-1. Did she go around? They appeal. Say no, don't need to appeal. Rather, the home plate umpire says she went too far. 1-2 the count as Watts looking for strikeout number 200 on the season, sitting at 199 currently on the campaign. The 1-2. Up high, and the count evens. Watts, a 300-plus strikeout pitcher from a season ago, looking to equal and greater that number from a season ago. Of course, those numbers including playoffs from last season. The 2-2 is strike out number 200 on the season for Sydney Watts as she fans number 8 now in the game, 1 away to start the top of the 4th. Milena Toth Up to bat, Toth. Mentioned her 400 average. 4 doubles as well on the season. 5 extra base hits total and a first pitch missing for a ball. The 1-0. Called strike. Toth takes it. Count evens. The 1-1. Took off on Watts. And getting ahead in the count is Milena Toth.
As I said, these Falcons are going to play either the Brush Arts from Midhurst or the Saybrook Township-based Lakeside Dragons in their sectional final game.
The 2-1 now. That's another swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Both these pitchers, Watts and Toth, doing a phenomenal job of missing bats, and it is attributed greatly to their success and getting out of some jams throughout this game, keeping it scoreless to this point. 2-2 the count to Toth. The pitch from Watts. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9 on the day as Watts fans the first 2 here in the 4th, and it'll bring up Faith Morrill. Morrill is 0 for 1 on the day. But Canfield in the last inning able to get a runner to second, all with 2 outs, trying to start something again with 2 outs here in the 4th. First pitch, few rungs 2 above the strike zone. 1-0. The 1-0. Morrill goes chasing, as able to bring it down a couple rungs, but still found it 1 rung above the ladder. Did Watts to force the chase out of the zone, evening the count 1-1. The 1-1. 2-1 the count. As Morrill is looking to get aboard here for Canfield, as Watts with the 2-1. Fouling it back, count evens 2-2. 2s across the scoreboard here in the top of the 4th. As the Falcons try to post another 0 on this scoreboard, a ton of them to this point. It's anything you can do, I can do better between these 2 right-handers in the All-American Conference. As the 2-2 taken, called strike 3 as Morrill goes down by way of the K, striking out the side for the 2nd time today as Watts. She has 10 through 4 innings of work. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Falcon bats coming around. Someone's got to score. Something's got to give. Who will blink first? We'll find out after this.
Nestled here in the beauty and splendor of Mill Creek Metro Parks are 2 of America's best golf courses, as selected by Golf Week magazine. Ranked number 9 in Ohio by TripAdvisor. Come play like a pro on these award-winning Donald Ross-designed courses. Enjoy a round with your kids and unwind with your favorite food and drinks in the grill room. For championship golf, look no further than your backyard. Mill Creek Golf Course.
If you can dream it, you can live it. Enjoy outdoor living at its finest with outdoor furniture at Sheely's. Whether hosting picnics or dining al fresco, with outdoor dining sets, you can bring family and friends together. You can create an outdoor oasis for your patio or deck, perfect for relaxing summer evenings. And unwind under the stars when you cozy up to a nice fire. Savor the season with outdoor living at Sheely's. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the 4th and the middle of the order coming up for Fitch, Sydney, Watts, McKenna, Hogan, Kylie, Folkwine. That's 3, 4, 5 in the Falcon order. Milena Toth, 7 strikeouts through 3 innings of work to this point. She has been dominant And she gets another swing and a miss, 0-1 to start. Ball just looks like it flies out of Toth's hands, too. Has a ton of length, and that's what helps her as well. Same rules apply when you look at a baseball pitcher for a softball pitcher. The long arms as well, with the legs allow for a long stride. The ball leaves the hand a little bit later, too, when you have the longer appendages like that. And for Toth, it really adds to the velocity, but also makes it almost like an eye illusion when it leaves her hand at points. The 0-1. 1-1 the count. Watts 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Toth, excuse me. Toth on the season has fanned 145 now. Swing and a miss, 1-2. As the Falcons tries to get aboard. The only opportunity Fitch really had came in the second. McKenna Hogan had the leadoff double. Kylie Folkwine able to reach safely at first with the single as runners were at the corners, and Folkwine advanced to second. The Falcons had second and third, nobody out, but Toth struck out the next three in the inning to get herself out of it. As Sydney Watts put a charge into it, hit it all the way to a fence, gonna turn head for second. Watts to second with a double, and you got to wonder if there's a competition with doubles between both Sydney Watts and McKenna Hogan. They seem to follow each other. 7 doubles on the season for Watts as she ties the team lead with McKenna Hogan, who steps into the box. Samantha Hines, number 57, trying to bring the sauce back on the base path, sitting in scoring position. Second time in this game, the Falcons have led off an inning with a double. Watts doing a good job coming back down from 0-2, evening the count 2-2, to find a fastball that she liked and deposited in right center field. McKenna Hogan 1 for 1 with a double on the day. Would love similar success to get Fitch on the board. First pitch finds the zone for Toth, 0-1. This is where Toth becomes extra tough in trying to get something deposited in some outfield grass and moving runners over and in. She locks things up and forces a lot of strikeouts in these situations. 1-1 the count now. Straight up defense being played on Hogan. Everyone lined up with their respective bases on the infield. 1-1 the count. Toss to Figueroa. Figueroa tried to frame it, and home plate umpire said it's a bit up high. 2-1. 2-1 the count. Ahead is Hogan. And Hogan's going to request time. It's granted at the plate. Falcons baseball team up over Canfield 1-0 across the way. Again, you can catch that game, ysnlive.com/live for our full list of live games. DJ Yoakley on the call for that one. Also, Anthony Hartwig doing a doubleheader inside the AAC with Howland taking on the Boardman Spartans. 2-2 the count on Hogan. The pitch taken up high and a bit outside, they say. Count runs full. Another good at-bat and another good plate appearance for McKenna Hogan on the day. Worked the count in her last plate appearance and was able to find a double. She's ahead in the count now. First base is open. But Toth looking for the first out in the inning, and again, I'm going to call the time. The cat and mouse game continues on the base paths, as well as the mental game of time being utilized in both the box and circle. The payoff at 3-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout on the day. Milena Toth continues to deal and gets the Ks when they matter most, number 8 on the day for Toth. And Kylie Folkwine will step in to try to give the Falcons the first run of the game.
Number 13, Kylie Folkwine. Rack 'em up. 18th player to strike out tonight.
The first pitch to Folkwine. And again, that rise ball has forced so many chases on the Falcons side as she gets an 0-1 count to start. And it's because of Toth's ability to get ahead in the count that she's been able to be that much more dangerous working off of that once ahead in the count. Bunt attempt, Falcons trying to get creative in advancing base runners, but unable to do it in that exchange. It goes foul 0-2. Folkwine. In this scoreless ball game, Fitch has Samantha Hines at second, courtesy of a Sydney Watts double, as Folkwine fouls it off to stay alive at 0-2. Folkwine on the season, multitude of extra base hits. 4 homers, 2 doubles, 3 triples. Have fouled it back, 0-2. Nice at bat here from Folkwine, fighting off on a lot of pitches. That one holding on the trigger. Say, did she go around? Bases umpire. Not at the first base side. He was more at shortstop or pointing to first. I don't know if Coach Robert Jones is gonna ring up Folkwine, but a ball and 2 strikes the count. Nice hold from Folkwine, staying alive in the count. Milena Toth with a 1-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Toth. She has 9 on the day. And the chess match continues in the circle. There's 2 down. Falcons now looking for the clutch hit from Sammy Severn.
Designated player number 7, Sammy Severn.
Pinching at the third base side is Panunzio. About a step and a half in is Kalina at first. A first pitch finds the zone, and once again, Toth gets herself ahead in the count, 0-1. Pitch number 67, that was on the day for Toth, as she approaches 70 through 4 innings of work. 2 down, runner at second. Here for Austintown. Swing and a miss, and Toth once again 1 pitch away from getting out of it. No out, leadoff double. Toth gets her call. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10. Both pitchers in the double digits through 4 innings of work. Who's going to blink first? We go to the top of the 5th after this.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren. Driven by you.
Top of the 5th inning as the Cardinals will send Ainley Freedy, Leah Figueroa, and Macy Kalina to the plate in this top of the 5th against Sydney Watts. We are scoreless through 4 innings of play. Both pitchers, Watts and Toth, 10 strikeouts on the day as the battle has continued with a big feature in the circle for both squads. Watts takes it to the top of the 5th. Canfield now looks to try to score first in this ball game. First pitch did not go around, says the bases umpire after the appeal, 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Both these teams haven't had a ton of base runners to work with, but the ones that they have had, they've been able to work them into scoring position. But both these pitchers have seemingly shut the door on any offensive opportunities on the day. 2-1 the count as Freedy works ahead now. Close game over on the baseball side. Still 1-0 in favor of Fitch. They're in the bottom of the 4th in that one. And if you like pitching, this is the day for you at the ballpark. Pulled back the bunt, but it's a called strike anyway. 2-2 now the count on Freedy. Watts searches for the first out here in the 5th. The 2-2 to Freedy. Up high, took off on her, and the count runs full. Another Cardinal getting the count 3-2. 2 walks issued on the day by Watts. As Canfield will take base runners any way they can get it. It's part of their game plan and what's made them so successful this year. The 3-2. That one lined out left field into the gap. Freedy gonna turn and burn, head to second. Able to get a hold of it as Folkwine stopping at second with a leadoff double is Haley Freedy. And the Canfield Cardinals now trying to work something up here in the top of the 5th. As for Freedy on the season, that is double number 5 for her. As a 400-plus bat comes through a big again for Canfield. And bring up Leah Figueroa. The power bat here in the Canfield order. RBI opportunity, nobody out in the inning. And time is called from Figueroa. First pitch from Watts. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Challenge pitch, and it worked out for Watts, 0-1. Canfield, like Fitch in the bottom of the 4th to start with a runner at second in the inning. And an opportunity for the Cards to attempt to play their style of softball and get a run in even with a productive out. The count 1-1 now on Figueroa. With the count 1-1, the pitch. Bunt went around, did Figueroa for the count to go 1-2. Holding the base runner Freedy at second was Coach Kernan. Watts looking for a critical first out in the inning. Canfield would, at the minimum, want to try to advance Freedy with this first out. With the count 1-2. Caitlin Mitchell, quick conversation with Watts in the circle. Defensive positioning, perhaps on the right side of the infield. And just making sure Watts was aware of it. 1-2 the count on Figueroa, the pitch. Called strike 3, out number 1, strikeout number 11 on the day for Sydney Watts. And that's a big one to get one out in the inning, but still a nice opportunity for the Cardinals, and Macy Kalina to deliver now for Canfield. As a pinch hitter in Kara Spencer. Now, Kara Spencer on the season is a .304 bat, .385 on base percentage, but she has 5 RBIs. But on top of the fact of that is Kara Spencer a speed bat as well, likes to bunt, and this is why you figure that Coach Ward has brought the third baseman, first baseman, and second baseman of Fitch, and Tina Montgomery, Caitlin Mitchell, and Abby Toth in to have this conversation. This is where Canfield likes to bring in these pinch hitters, and a lot of them know how to bunt, and a lot of them have speed. This is one of those cases where Canfield's looking to get runners at the corners, remain one out in the inning, and try to get one in with a productive out. Kara Spencer steps in. The 0-0 already squares around, pulls it back, 1-0, throw down to third, have Freedy caught up in a rundown. They got her tagged out at the second base bag. Mitchell with a heck of a tag applied. Good defense by the Falcon infield. 2 outs in the inning, and they erase the base runner. 1-0 the count on Spencer, and the plan foiled by the Cardinal offense. Wow, what a defensive play. Second one of the day. The Falcons have been able to catch a runner in a run down. 1-0 the count on Kara Spencer. Now looking to reset the table. She'll take low, 2-0. Getting ahead in the count, Spencer. Both these teams back in action tomorrow. Supposed to be at McCoon Park out in Canfield for home matchup for the Cardinals. 2 balls, no strikes. Kara Spencer. The 2-0. That one right back to Watts. Said thank you very much. Tossed to first. Out number 3. Falcons defense comes up in a big way. Watts strikes out one more. She has 11 on the day. We remain scoreless going to the bottom of the 5th. Falcon bats coming up. 7, 8, 9 due up after this.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
To the bottom of the 5th we go. Abby Toth, Tina Montgomery, and Ashley McLean are all due up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Milena Toth, 10 strikeouts on the day, enters her 5th inning of work. Both pitchers, Toth and Watts, undefeated on the season. Watts 15-0, Toth is 11-0. And both these pitchers not wanting to suffer their first loss against a conference foe. And pitching whales of a game, both of them. 0-2 as Milena Toth not messing around in her attack of the strike zone, and her approach today has been phenomenal. The junior for Canfield continuing to work ahead of Falcon bats. 0-2 the count. The pitch to Toth. Swing and a miss. 11 strikeouts now for Milena Toth on the day, and her dominance continuing as trying to finish her second time through the order against Austintown. Tina Montgomery steps in. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Milena Toth has tossed 72 pitches to this point. First pitch swinging, 0-1. As Montgomery delivered a big hit against the champion Golden Flashes, trying to start something for Fitch here with one down in the fifth. The 0-1 holds off on that rise ball, and that's been one tough pitch to hold up on today from Elena Toth. The count evens now 1-1. The 1-1 offering now. That skips in, lost control of that, did Toth. Ahead in the count is Montgomery, 2-1. Great crowd turning out today for both games, as well as this ballpark is lined with fans of both the Cardinals and Falcons for this battle in the nest. The 2-1 called strike, 2-2 the count as Montgomery takes it. Elena Toth with a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 12. Toth continuing to rack them up and send them down by way of the K. And there's two down here in the top of the fifth. Ashley McLean will step in 0 for 1 on the day. Strikeout against Toth. 77 pitches to this point as Toth continuing to deal. First pitch, strike one, 0-1. The 0-1 to McLean. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Toth looks for another 1-2-3 inning by way of the strikeout. Attempting to strike out the side once again. Taking high and outside, 1-2. Both pitchers scoreless to this point. Toth trying to complete the fifth in response to the 5 scoreless by Watts. The 1-2. Called strike 3, a baker's dozen on the day for number 13, Melena Toth, as she continues this scoreless ball game and sends it into the 6th inning. Who's gonna blink first? Canfield bats look to get back up after this.
If you can dream it, you can live it. Enjoy outdoor living at its finest with outdoor furniture at Sheely's. Whether hosting picnics or dining al fresco, with outdoor dining sets, you can bring family and friends together. You can create an outdoor oasis for your patio or deck, perfect for relaxing summer evenings. And unwind under the stars when you cozy up to a nice fire. Savor the season with outdoor living at Sheely's. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
Hi, I'm Eric Carlson, president of Joe Dickey Electric and an Eagle Scout from Troop 60 in Boardman. I'd like to invite you to join us Tuesday, June 13th at the Lake Club for our 18th annual Celebration of Scouting Breakfast. Join us to hear the scouting story and support the organization that helped me become the leader I am today. Visit www.gtcbsa.org/breakfast or call 234-900-5906 to reserve your spot.
We're back here for the top of the 6th inning as this scoreless ball game takes us into the latter innings of this ball game. As leading off for Canfield is going to be number 3, Bella Kennedy.
Center fielder number 3, Bella Kennedy.
Bella Kennedy, then the top of the order, Jenna Treveri, Gianna Panunzio due up for Canfield. The Cards had a leadoff double in the last inning, but couldn't bring it around. Falcons erased the base runner on a fine defensive play, getting Freedy caught up between second and third. Second one on the day. Fitch was able to erase off the base paths with defense. On the season, Bella Kennedy came in, .357 average, 2 homers. Kennedy also the second arm in this Canfield order. Comes in for certain situations, has started a couple games as well for the Cards. Very capable pitcher in her own right. 1-0 the count on Kennedy to start. Showed bunt, pulled it back, count evens. The 1-1 pitch now to Kennedy. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Watts with 11 strikeouts on the day. Toth with 13 for the Cards, as both of these pitchers, nothing but dominance at the plate, and have pitched out of the few jams that each of them have gotten in. Swing and a miss, make it a dozen for Sydney Watts, as she retires Kennedy for the first out here in the top half of the sixth. That'll bring up the leadoff bat of Jenna Treveri, who has walked a pair of times today. 0 for 0 on the day, but has had two really good plate appearances against Watts and has been one of the batters that Watts has not been able to figure out for an out. First pitch finding the zone as Watts wanting to get ahead at Treveri. She does, 0-1. Treveri, a table setter for this Canfield squad, trying to do so with one down here in the sixth. She showed bunt. She was able to pull it back to even the count. A ball and a strike now here in the sixth. One and one. Low, 2-1 now. Treveri back ahead in the count. With the count 2-1. Watts into her to wind up the delivery. Fouled back. 2-2 now the count. Gianna Panunzio awaits in the on-deck circle for the Cards. Treveri trying to reach aboard, her third time today. The 2-2. And again, laying off of anything outside the zone from Watts. She's unable to force the chase as Treveri back ahead in the count, 3-2. Another full count forced by the Canfield freshman. Watts into her payoff. As Treveri deposits at center field, and it's going to bounce up against the wall. Treveri flying around, heading for the third base bag. Ayla Ray going to hold up the throw, allow Treveri in without one, and the Canfield Cardinals have the go-ahead run sitting 60 feet away. Jenna Treveri once again with a phenomenal at-bat. This time gets her first hit of the day, and it's a triple. That's number 2 as far as triples are concerned on the season for Treveri. Gianna Panunzio, runner at third. Canfield tries to get on the board first. First pitch, a called strike, 0-1. Faking from third to home plate was Treveri. The 0-1. That one is bunted. Third base as that one scoring at the plate and continuing to go. No one at the second base bag. Toss safe at the bag as well. Gianna Panunzio lays the bunt down. A misstep on the infield allows a run to score. Runner at second. It's 1-0 Canfield. RBI single. Gianna Panunzio on the RBI bunt single. Gives her 14 on the season. Marina Koenig takes a first pitch strike, 0-1.
That was coming, and I think they should have anticipated it, and I don't know if they did, but she did not react. Montgomery did not react, and it cost her.
0-1 the count on Koenig. Getting the call from Coach Kernan out of the third base side. Steps back into the box. Runner at second. Canfield taking the lead with the first run here in the top of the sixth. Sack bunt RBI single from Panunzio. Again, that one straight up in the air, unable to get a hold of it as the count moves to 0-2. Runner Panunzio stays at second. As Koenig stepping in. Back in with an 0-2 count. Runner at second base, one down. The pitch. Outside it goes. Tossed down to third. Nicely backed up by Ayla Ray. Into third safely, Panunzio. Another run 60 feet away and another productive out. Now can put the Canfield lead doubled up to 2. As Panunzio swiping the bag. That's good for 11 now on the season. At bunt, straight up in the air. Sydney Watts, a fantastic backhanded play. Toss to third, and it's not going to go on in time as another run to score. 2 home for Canfield, but there's 2 outs in the inning. But the Cardinals, with the speed on the base path, take advantage of the misstep on the infield. And 2 home now for Canfield, both coming in this inning. And Milena Toth now will step up. And Milena Toth, with 2 down, nobody on, can look to continue the inning and keep the momentum in the grasp of the Cardinals, who have continued to find ways to score.
Now at the plate, pitcher number 13.
And creative ways to score, and doing it with the speed, doing it with the bunt. First pitch, a swing and a miss strike, 0-1.
Well, it's a bunt.
As 0-1 the count on Toth. The pitch from Watts. Swing and a miss. Another chase forced by Watts. 2 down, 0-2 the count. 2-0 Canfield in the lead against Austintown Fitch here in the top of the 6th. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. A big strikeout to end the inning. But the Falcons surrender 2 runs in the top of the 6th. Canfield find ways to score. Gianna Panunzio started it off with an RBI bunt single in the inning, and they tack on 1 more. It's 2-0 Canfield heading to the bottom of the 6th. 1-2-3 in the Fitch order coming up after this.
Let's face it, buying a home is one of the toughest things you'll ever do. At Forever Homes, we are licensed realtors that specialize in representing our clients in the purchase and sale of single-family residences and income property in Columbiana County. We truly love this area. We were born in this area, and we pride ourselves on the knowledge of transactions, school districts, neighborhoods, and related services. So the next time you need to buy or sell your home, make it Forever. Forever Homes Realty.
There are 4 members of GoldenStringRadio.org that works for your sports network. Super Dave, Kristen, Scotty, and myself. And if you love our work at Golden String, Isle, and Purple Cat, you are going to love the soon-to-be open Cabot Camp out at Farmer Casey's Ranch in Coatesville Township. It has all the nice, beautiful scenery, will feature cabins, and a whole lot of other great outdoor stuff. I'm Radar Pavlov, and my sports network is your sports network.
Top of the order as Milena Toth now pitching from in front for the first time today. Trying to protect the Cardinal lead, 2-0. Heading to the bottom of the 6th. She'll have to go through the top of the order for the 3rd trip now of going through the order for Toth. First pitch draws a swing and a miss from Ayla Ray, 0-1 to start. Toth on 82 pitches on the day, has struck out 13 and has dominated this lineup today, allowing no runs through 5 innings of work. As that one a pop fly, third base side, and that drops in foul territory, and the count will go to 0-2. 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a strikeout is Ayla Ray. Milena Toth looking for a scoreless inning after they run scored. That one, nice diving grab. No, lost a hold of it. They say safe as Ayla Ray ends up at second base as Bella Kennedy had it measured but lost the handle on it in center field. And the Falcons will have a runner in scoring position to start this bottom of the 6th inning. Almost a fantastic play from Kennedy. She went to the ground, almost had it as it was caught up, it looked like right in the heel of that glove, and it kicked out following the continuation of the catch. Runner at second, tying run at the plate now for Fitch. Caitlin Mitchell up to bat. First pitch fouled back for Mitchell, 0-1. As Milena Toth twice has worked out of a runner in scoring position to start an inning. Nobody out in this game. She's looking for the hat trick, trying to do it a third time. 0-1 the count on Caitlin Mitchell. The pitch to Seemich. Gets the bunt down, but they say fouled off the foot. So the count goes to 0-2. Rolled dead ball at home plate. 0-2 the count. Mitchell would love to at least advance Ray to third. Falcons looking to try to get at the bare minimum 1 back. Milena Toth trying to walk the tightrope again. Chopper, third base side. Turning is Panunzio over the first base bag. Falcons going to score. Mitchell goes to second. Tying run at second. Go-ahead run will step to the plate as Fitch breaks the scoreless drought here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The spot for runs to happen as Caitlin Mitchell tying run at second. Sydney Watts the go-ahead run at the plate. And this is going to force another conversation in the circle from Coach Kernan. Another conversation coming from the base runners as well. During this convo, we're going to take a quick timeout and be back after this.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Back here, bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Canfield, but Fitch has the tying run at second, and Caitlin Mitchell go-ahead run at the plate, and Sydney Watts, nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Milena Toth trying to get out of the inning with the Canfield lead. Fitch trying to turn the script and flip the tables on the Cardinals. Opportunity 3, 4, 5 still due up in the Falcon order. Sydney Watts awaits the first pitch from Toth. She's ready, fires. Fouling it back is Watts. It's 0-1 to start. Falcons at the bare minimum now need to try to advance Caitlin Mitchell to third and leave the opportunity for a sacrifice fly to tie the ball game for McKenna Hogan, who waits in the on-deck circle. Milena Toth would love nothing more than a strikeout for this first out of the game. That one lost the handle, and it's going to be a free base for Caitlin Mitchell, who now ends up at third. As wild pitch from Toth Now, huge opportunity for Fitch to tie the game, potentially take the lead. Tying run 60 feet away for Austintown. Sydney Watts with a 1-1 count. The pitch. Watts takes for a ball, 2-1. Toth trying to find the ice in her veins to get out of the inning. Fitch trying to find a big clutch hit that they've been missing on all day. And time is called. Watts wants some extra seconds before taking her hacks. 2-1 the count. Nobody out, the pitch to Watts. That one hit out to left center field. This should be deep enough to score one. What a catch in left field by Haley Freedy, as one run will score on the sacrifice. At the very least, they say out. I don't know if they're saying that was a catch or a grab at the bag.
She tagged up. They're saying she didn't.
They're trying to say that Caitlin Mitchell did not tag. Mitchell saying that she did. And they're saying 2 outs now. They're saying no tag.
She's out at third.
No, they're saying out at third. So, okay, correct everything. Tie ball game, they said. It's 2-2. Coach Ward feeds it back in. There is one down. Watts was out at third, but the tying run has scored. We're in a new ball game currently. And Coach Kernan.
Well, if that's the case, then she's got a double and an RBI. And
trying to plead his case.
how is she?
It's from our view here, it looked like Haley Freedy made a phenomenal catch up against the left center field wall. I don't believe the ball ever hit fence. It went straight from bat to glove. But the question was, did Caitlin Mitchell tag up or did she fail to tag up? And they say that she did tag up. That was the question on the infield. Caitlin Mitchell did tag up. She waited until the play was done. So regardless if the ball hit the fence or hit the glove, it was awaited until the ball was into the hands of Haley Freedy before Mitchell took off to score the tying run. So we are knotted up at 2, 1 down. Bottom of the 6th inning, McKenna Hogan steps to the plate as the go-ahead run at the plate for both teams currently, with every at-bat moving forward. 2 runs, both teams in the 6th inning. First pitch strike, 0-1 to start on McKenna Hogan.
And on the Watts drive deep to left field, what a play, a 5-star job from me on the rating scale for Haley Freedy in deep left center field.
The 0-1 to Hogan. Lays off the rise ball, 1-1. What a game this has been. Both teams strike for 2. New ball game once again. Again, we're back to a game of who's going to blink second now. Both teams seemingly blinking at the same time. Now they're both requesting a rematch for who's going to blink second, and it starts here with 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. Hogan down in the count, 1-2. Milena Toth trying to get back to staying even mentally and getting a couple of outs here in the 6th. 1-2 runs outside, 2-2. Both pitchers, 13 strikeouts on a day for each of them. As Toth at 95 pitches tossed in this game.
And on the official pitch count, both pitchers are now at 95 pitches thrown this afternoon into the bottom of the 6th inning.
Sun has made its appearance once again here at the softball complex, the 2-2 to Hogan. And she chopped it back. And credit to Hogan on that, because if you see the shadow that's placed right in front of the circle, you got to look that ball in and out of a shadow. It starts out, goes in, and comes out of it. And that light can change the perception of it and almost look like an illusion in and of itself. We talked about how when Milena Toth pitches, it already kind of is elusive in the way that she does throw the ball, but pair that with the sun, too, and able to get a piece of it. Right side of the infield definitely wants to get the shades on with the sun peeking in and out of these clouds. 2-2 the count on Hogan in a 2-2 game. McKenna Hogan lines it to left field. Base hit. Go-ahead run will reach on base for the Fitch Falcons as back in time. McKenna Hogan. She's the double leader. She was thinking about trying to get number 8 on the season. Got back to the bag in time. Go-ahead run at first. Rachel Spalding to take over running duties. Kylie Folkwine now will take her hacks. Go-ahead run at first. One down. Bottom of the 6th here for Fitch.
Now striding to the plate, center fielder number 13, Kylie Folkwine.
The geologist Kylie Folkwine steps in. 0 for 2 on the day against Toth. The Yo-Oh. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Well, she's been safe on an error and stolen a base and struck out swinging.
Folkwine
So you see, she throws her an off-speed pitch, and she was all over that.
with the 0-1 count on her. Go-ahead run at first, courtesy of Rachel Spalding for Fitch. Swing and a miss, rides ball, forcing the chase. Melena Toth gets the count to 0-2.
She's pulling it every which way.
She just wants it.
Yeah, well, you might have to run into one just to make it happen.
Yeah,
0-2
exactly.
to Folkwine, fouled away.
Better swing. Considering it's 0-2.
Yes, Folkwine got a piece to just stay alive.
Go the opposite field.
That was also pitch number 100 on the day for Melena Toth, now crossing the century mark on her pitch count. The 0-2 again to Folkwine. Swing and a miss, gets her 14th strikeout of the game. And Melena Toth now searches for one more out in the inning to keep this ball game tied at 2 heading to the 7th.
Designated player number 7, Sammy Severn.
Sammy Severn now swings and misses to fall behind in the count 0-1.
Just on that speed, too, and that spin and that movement. And said you just might have to run into one, but you got to.
The 0-1. Fouling it back. Severn. Now down in the count 0-2. Toth one pitch away from keeping the ball game tied going to the final frame. The 0-2. Outside, says the home plate ump. 1-2 now the count. Toth searching for one pitch to get out of the inning. Falcons trying to advance the go-ahead run at first. The 1-2. Fouling it back and out of play is Severn. Count stays 1-2. Severn staying alive. Toth still looking for the final out here in the 6th. The 1-2. Fouling it off once again. Severn continuing to catch a piece of it and stay alive in the at-bat. Oh, or 1-2, excuse me, the count on Severn. Rachel Spalding at first, 2 down. Bottom of the 6th inning, the pitch from Toth. Swing and a miss, foul tipped into the glove, registered as an out. Strikeout number 15 on the day for Melena Toth. But not before the Austintown Fitch Falcons strike 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th as we are knotted up 2 runs apiece heading to the 7th. It's number 1 versus number 2 in the YSN Power 20. Something's got to give. We got the 7th inning for you after this.
I find it exciting to try to find that one car to match with the customer. And to me, that's the fun of it, and it's kind of a challenge. And I want them to know that their best interest is what I have in my heart. I get to meet new people every day, listen to their conversations, become friends with these people. I think they see I genuinely care and really want the best for them at that, when they're in here. And so far, that's my favorite thing. I'm Justin Coulter, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you.
YSN Power 20 going into this week. Of course, new Power 20s always drop Sundays between 7 and 8 on our Diamond Roundup show. But you see, Fitch number 1, Canfield number 2 going into this game. And it's one of 2 consecutive games, the second game happening at Canfield. We go to the top of the 7th, 5, 6, 7 in the Canfield order. Faith Morrill, Leah Figueroa, and Haley Freedy. Faith Morrill steps into the box, 0 for 2 on the day against Watts. Both pitchers giving up 1 earned run, 1 unearned run on the day. Watts with 13 strikeouts. Milena Toth has 15 on the day. The 0-1 on Morrell. Fouls it to the fencing, first base side, 0-2. Fitch looking for a pivotal first out in the inning. The 0-2 to Morrell. Chopper, third base side, over to shortstop. Ayla Ray, what a throw on the money, as the ace of bases can play some defense as well out of the 6 hole as she throws and unloads the cannon. Call it the ray gun from shortstop. What power on that throw, 1 away. One down, Haley Freedy. 1 for 2, double on the day, and she smoked that double. Big liner in her last at-bat. First pitch strike as Watts knows the importance of getting ahead of bats, especially in the situation they're in, 7th inning tie ball game. Freedy with the 0-1, lines it up the middle, diving stop. Caitlin Mitchell able to stop it, tosses to first, not in time. Infield single, Haley Freedy. She's 2 for 3 on the day. Bring up Leah Figueroa. As Caitlin Mitchell went to the ground to stop it on the infield, but couldn't really stop it cleanly as it knocked away from Mitchell. The infield single for Freedy. That is the go-ahead run on first. Leah Figueroa, 0 for 2 on the day against Watts. Bats in the 7 spot of the lineup. First pitch, strike, 0-1. Watts is over the century mark as well here in the 7th. It's 104 pitches. Now for Watts. The 0-1 on Figueroa. Swing and a miss. Went up the ladder and got the chase. 0-2. Count is 0-2. Watts trying to get the second out in the inning with the go-ahead run at first for Canfield. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 14 on the day for Sydney Watts. And there's now 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Brings up Macy Kalina. As Kalina, 406 bat, 457 on base percentage coming into today. She's 0 for 1 on the day against Watts and crew. First pitch low for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 to Kalina. Swing and a miss to even the count, 1-1. The 1-1 now from Sid. Rides it up the ladder, 2-1. Freedy's at first, 2 down, top of the 7th inning. Cardinals looking to once again break the scoreless tie and take the lead. 2-2. I guess it would be 2-2 tie, rather. 2-2 the tie.
There's 7 deuces up there.
Has call that a scoreboard Yahtzee, 2-2s. That's a more than a Yahtzee, though, too. Like, add some extra dice to the number of the day. The 2-2. Up high, count is full. Big point in this ball game. Cardinals can advance a runner into scoring position with a walk. Fitch looking to get to the bottom of the 7th inning and a chance to walk it off. 3-2 the count on Kalina. The payoff. That one straight up on the infield. McKenna Hogan hits the ground to get it. You see how amped up they all are, knowing how each and every out in this ball game means the world. McKenna Hogan gets a big third out, sends it to the bottom of the 7th. Fitch with a chance to win it and walk it off, but they have to go through the arm of Milena Toth, looking to slam the door shut and send us into extras. What's going to happen in this one? We'll find out after this.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them.
To do anything that would convenience the customer.
And every day I'll go the extra mile so they can trust us.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Boy, did this game ever deliver here in the bottom of the 7th. We're knotted up 2 apiece. Fitch a chance to win it, but both arms have been dealing. Sidney Watts, 14 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 1 unearned on the day. As 2 walks also allowed by Watts. For Milena Toth, 1 earned run, 1 unearned run, and 15 strikeouts on the day for Toth. These are 2 really good lineups, but both pitchers have been able to drop plenty of strikeouts to get themselves out of some jams. Both teams scoring 2 in the 6th. Watts pitching a scoreless 7th, and Fitch now with an opportunity here in the bottom of the inning. First pitch popped up third base side. Gianna Panunzio takes care of it. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Tina Montgomery now going to take aim.
Now coming up for the Lady Falcons, third baseman number 23, Tina Montgomery.
Montgomery, 0 for 2 on the day against Toth. Toth trying to send it into extras. First pitch outside to Montgomery, 1-0. Montgomery, RBI leader for the Falcons with 20. Also has hit 4 home runs on the season. Came into today batting over 400. 1-1 the count as it evens. Milena Toth with a 1-1. Called strike, getting Montgomery down in the count now, 1-2.
Let's go, baby. You got it.
The 1-2 now to Montgomery. Swing and a miss. Sweet 16 for the day for Milena Toth. Fanning another one. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th as Ashley McLean will look to try to turn it to the top and continue this inning for Fitch. Toth looks for a 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th. First pitch drawing a swing, 0-1. Toth now at 113 pitches on the day. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. The 0-2. Held up on it, 1-2. Toth, 1 pitch away from sending us to extras. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. The 2-2 to McLean. Swing and a miss. 17 strikeouts for Milena Toth through 7 innings of work. Wasn't enough for us to decide a winner in this one. We need extras. We go to the 8th after this.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens. On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update. Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Top of the 8th, and we're all tied up at 2 as it's 9-1-2 in the Canfield order. Bella Kennedy, Jenna Treveri, Gianna Panunzio due up here in the 8th inning. After getting through Bella Kennedy, the Cardinals will get through their order for the 4th time, starting with Treveri in this inning. Treveri, too, has been aboard all 3 times today against Watts. A first pitch. Ball 1-0.
Especially when I'm drinking Coke Zero. See those doors straight across there? Walk in there and go down. That's the Board of Education.
It's the porta potty population.
With the 1-0 count now, Bella Kennedy trying to get the go-ahead run on board. That is fouled off back to the fencing, 1-1.
Treasurer.
The count 1-1 on Bella Kennedy.
I know his mom.
As Kennedy on the day 0 for 2. Watts at 114 pitches now on the day.
But I know his mom, Carol Karlovic. I worked with her at Falcon Transport. Like
The 1-1.
2 years ago.
Inside for a ball. 2-1. With the count 2-1, the pitch. That tips off the glove of Hogan. Hitters count now for the 9-0 hitter, Bella Kennedy, at 3-1. 3-1 the count. Trying to get back into it is Watts. Bella Kennedy looking for a leadoff base runner. The 3-1 called strike, and it runs full now. Big pitch coming here in the 8th. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. Sydney Watts comes back to get the K. One away here in the 8th, and the top of the order coming back around. Jenna Treveri 1 for 1 on the day with a double and 2 walks. She's gotten aboard every time against Watts, and Sid trying to find the correct combination to draw an out of the leadoff bat here over in Canfield. Treveri takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Treveri does a fantastic job of protecting that plate. It's part of the reason she's been so tough to put away in this game. 0-1. 1-1 the count. She also knows her strike zone and doesn't really deviate from her strike zone and trying to swing outside of it. If you're going to get her out, you got to come to her. The 1-1 to Treveri. Outside, 2-1, no chase offered. Fourth time going through the order now for Sydney Watts against this Cardinal lineup. And Treveri calls timeout.
Before plate appearances now, she's seen 21 pitches.
The 2-1 now to Treveri. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2, 2-2, the count evens. As Treveri, a rare empty swing dialed up by Watts, as Watts now crosses to 122 pitches on the day. The 2-2 to Treveri. Letter high, no chase. Count is full once again to the leadoff bat of Canfield.
7th full count for her in this game. Early, 7th.
Again, Canfield trying to get the leading run aboard. The payoff from Watts. Fouled back. Count will stay 3-2. As Treveri fights it off and continues to be a battler at the top of that order. The 3-2 payoff from Watts. Fouled that one back, and again, we'll do it again at 3-2 for Jenna Treveri. Watts at $1.25 as far as pitches are concerned in this game, with one out here in the 7th. The payoff once again. Called strike 3 on Jenna Treveri as Watts finally gets her in extras for a strikeout. And 2 away now here in the 8th. Bring up Gianna Panunzio with 2 down, trying to get something going.
Now coming up, third baseman number 6, Gianna Panunzio.
Sweet 16 strikeouts for Sydney Watts. On the other side, 17 for Milena Toth. Lots of strikeouts in this game. Both pitchers have been unbelievable. Gianna Panunzio starts down in the count, 0-1, 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Low and inside, 1-1. All the runs coming in the 6th for both squads. 5 scoreless before, and a scoreless inning since the 1-1. Popped up near the plate. Hogan gave it a look, but it makes its trip to the bleachers behind home plate. The count 1-2. Fitch Looking for one more strike to get to the bottom of the 8th. Top of the Falcon order due up 1-2-3 to start the 8th inning. Watts with a 1-2 to Panunzio. Fouled that one back, did Panunzio, and she'll stay alive out 1-2. Panunzio having a great day, 2 for 3 on the day.
Actually, she's 1 for 3. Well, you're not there. 1-2-7-1. We had an out.
The 1-2. That one, Chopper, shortstop. Ayla Ray has it. She throws her out at the first base bag to get out of the 8th unscathed. Canfield goes in order as the Falcons another opportunity to walk it off in the bottom of the inning. 1-2-3 due up in the Fitch order after this.
Let's face it, buying a home is one of the toughest things you'll ever do. At Forever Homes, we are licensed realtors that specialize in representing our clients in the purchase and sale of single-family residences and income property in Columbiana County. We truly love this area. We were born in this area, and we pride ourselves on the knowledge of transactions, school districts, neighborhoods, and related services. So the next time you need to buy or sell your home, make it forever. Forever Homes Realty.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Top of the order for the bottom of the 8th inning. We've gotten an extra inning here in the Austintown Fitch softball complex. Ayla Ray, Caitlin Mitchell, Sydney Watts due up. Ray goes hacking at that first pitch, fouls it off. Milena Toth has struck out 17 in the game today. Sydney Watts has 16 across the way for Fitch. 118 pitches on the day for Toth. Watts over the 130 pitch mark. Popped up. First base side as Gianna Panunzio gets the out of Ayla Ray. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. And Caitlin Mitchell now will step in.
Now standing in, second baseman number 4, Caitlin Mitchell.
The 0-0. Mitchell fouls it off, 0-1. 0 for 3 on the day for Mitchell. As the order turns over for the 4th time as Toth tries to get through it. Nothing really to hide for either of these pitchers. Both teams kind of know what you're working with, but the dominance still on display for both righties. The 0-1. Up high, 1-1. The 1-1. That one popped up near the plate. Figueroa gives it a look, and it is, they say foul, I believe. Yes, they do say foul. So Caitlin Mitchell set to get another hack. The count will move to 1-2. Dead ball off the fencing.
Nice try there, Leah Figueroa.
The 1-2. That's a pop-up. Figueroa giving it a look. And unable to get a hold of that one as it goes out of play. Count stays 1-2 on Caitlin Mitchell. The 1-2. Fouling it back, count will stay 1-2.
For the battle for.
Again, the 1-2. That one liner to third, but it goes foul. Again, we'll stay at 1-2. One down, bottom of the 8th inning. The 1-2. Bounced in from Toth, 2-2.
Ground zero on May the 4th be with you day.
I need to get a freaking pat that has a wedge on it.
The 2-2. Called strike 3 on Caitlin Mitchell for the second out. 18 now for Milena Toth. And that brings up Sydney Watts. Watts with 2 down, trying to just start something for Fitch here in the bottom of the 8th.
Number 5, Sydney Watts.
First pitch, it's a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 now. Watts hacks and misses, 1-1.
Go 5.
With a count 1-1, Watts in a 2-2 game, the pitch to her. Missing does Milena Toth, 2-1. Toth now at 130 pitches on the game. She has struck out 18 to this point.
You have to give me pitch counts at the end of the 8th inning here because I'm about to give team totals at the end of the 8th.
The 2-1. That one got underneath it, first base side, and it goes out of play. Kalina gave it a look, but the count evens 2-2.
I know. Isn't it fun? Yes. Yes. But if you were zonked on the head by that softball, then you were really showing us what.
2-2 the count on Sydney Watts. She went around, called strike 3, 19 on the day for Milena Toth as we are through the 8th inning of play, going to the 9th, still tied up at 2.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
We know when it comes to insurance, you have so many choices. But if you're looking for someone who lives in your community, someone who cheers for your community, and someone who works for your community like you're part of our family, well then please let us introduce ourselves. Hi, we're Heiner Insurance. How can we help?
HVAC causing havoc? Has your furnace gone mad? Commercial or residential, 24/7. Call your hometown hero. Call Mighty Mike.
Top of the 9th, middle of the order, 3-4-5 coming up for the Cardinals here in the top of the 9th inning. Marina Koenig, Melina Toth, Faith Morrell up to bat for Canfield.
Sunset this evening, Eastern Daylight Time is 8:22. Just for those aficionados who want to know.
So, from what we're getting words from the umpire, it sounds like we're going to get this 9th inning in, but if there's not enough daylight, they're going to address where they're at time-wise after this 9th inning. As the umpire talked about the fact that you don't want to start an inning you can't finish. Daylight set to shed in about an hour and 5 minutes real time right now at 8:22.
Canfield Cardinals is shortstop number 5, Marina Koenig.
Marina Koenig, 3-hole hitter for Canfield, steps in. First pitch, ball up high, 1-0. Koenig 0 for 3 on the day.
If they don't judge that we'll have enough light, we're going to be suspended and completing tomorrow and playing the full game.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Yes, tomorrow. We're suspended.
Yeah.
1-1 the count. The pitch. Called strike 1-2. The 1-2 on Koenig. Fouled it back, 1-2.
Remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Marina Koenig trying to find some success.
Over their shoulder catch and then she threw badly to third. And they scored their second run that day.
The 1-2. Took off on Watts, 2-2. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Another strikeout for Watts. She has 17 on the day. That'll bring up Melina Toth. One down, Melina Toth steps in. She goes swinging at that first pitch, popped out, right field side. It's going to drop in for a base hit. And the go-ahead run now will be at first for the Cards.
There you go. After 3 swinging strikeouts.
And with one down, two on, go ahead run at second base. And it looks like Canfield bringing on some pinch runners now and looking for the small ball approach to retake the lead that they were able to capture back in the top of the sixth.
Now in the box for the Cardinals, left fielder number 2, Haley Freedy.
First pitch for Haley Freedy is fouled back. 0-1. 145 pitches for Sydney Watts in this game. Haley Freedy is 2 for 3 on the day. The 0-1 went hacking and fouled it back. 0-2.
That's 11. She's at second base. So who's at first base? That's what I'm wondering. I know she's at second. Or maybe she switched off. I think he switched off.
Runners first and second, one down. Watts looking for a critical second out. Haley Freedy trying to deliver for the Cards. The 0-2. That one liner past the first baseman, off the glove of Mitchell. The Canfield Cardinals gonna take the lead. It's 3-2 Cards. RBI single. Haley Freedy comes through big time. Lead for Canfield, and they might not be done yet. Up to bat, Leah Figueroa now. With runners at first and third, still only one out.
I'll find out who she is when she turns her back. Now the catcher, number 27, Leah Figueroa.
First pitch to Figueroa. Inside, 1-0 to start.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
Head in the count.
1 ball and no strikes.
As Leah Figueroa. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Figueroa evens the count, stealing second. As 2 in scoring position now for Canfield as Freedy takes second. Lutz at third.
Oh, that's who's at third. Okay.
And now there's still only one out, 1-1 the count. Infield for the Falcons coming in to discuss with Watts in the circle.
The other courtesy pinch runner at third is the second baseman, Sydney Lutz, who's now sitting at third. Ball and 1 strike, I believe. Well, on the call, yes, but
Leah Figueroa.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Even the count, couple in scoring position for the Canfield catcher. The 1-1. Bunt laid down to third. Toss to the home plate bag. They're going to let everyone stay safe. Bags are loaded now with 1 down.
Now that I will call
Montgomery went to home. Single for Figueroa. Brings up 8-hole hitter in the Canfield lineup, Macy Kalina. Bags loaded, 1 down. Huge opportunity for Canfield to further their lead, standing 3-2 over Austintown. As Kara Spencer back to bat. A good bunter, so suicide squeeze could be in order here.
Number 8, Kara Spencer, will return to the game. Pinch hitting for Macy Kalina.
As she'll be pinch hitting for Macy Kalina. Now out of the game is Kalina.
In that number 8 spot in the batting order. 3-2
Canfield here in the top of the 9th inning. Cards have loaded the bags, taken their 3-2 lead with one already in the inning, but a chance to score some more against the Falcons, as Watts is at 150 pitches even on the day. Kara Spencer hacks on that first pitch. They're going to go home with it, and they get the out at the plate. As on the plate, they say, eliminating one run. Coach Kernan is irate, arguing with the home plate official, and they say out at the plate. They say out, as again emphatically does the home plate umpire raise the fist, and not looking like he's interested in furthering conversation at the home plate. 2 down, bags still loaded, but the out erased at the plate, and a huge opportunity for Fitch to try to minimize damage. Bella Kennedy, though, can turn it over to the top and add some runs to the Canfield lead in one swing of the bat. She goes hacking at a first pitch. It's low, 0-1. With the count 0-1. The pitch. That one hit up left field. Running it down, Folkwine heads underneath it, makes the play. Out number 3, Canfield leads them loaded. But not before the Cards take the lead once again. 3-2 now as the Cards scratch across a run in the top half of the 9th. Fitch need a response. Canfield needs 3 outs to try to put the first loss on the head of the Falcons this season. AAC game, big championship on the line after this.
If you can dream it, you can live it. Enjoy outdoor living at its finest with outdoor furniture at Sheely's. Whether hosting picnics or dining al fresco, with outdoor dining sets, you can bring family and friends together. You can create an outdoor oasis for your patio or deck, perfect for relaxing summer evenings. And unwind under the stars when you cozy up to a nice fire. Savor the season with outdoor living at Sheely's. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
Hi, I'm Eric Carlson, president of Joe Dickey Electric and an Eagle Scout from Troop 60 in Boardman. I'd like to invite you to join us Tuesday, June 13th at the Lake Club for our 18th annual Celebration of Scouting Breakfast. Join us to hear the scouting story and support the organization that helped me become the leader I am today. Visit www.gtcbsa.org/breakfast or call 234-900-5906 to reserve your spot today.
Canfield looking for 3 outs here in the bottom of the 9th to try to hang the first loss on the Falcons on the season. Fitch sends their 4, 5, 6 hitters in the lineup up to the plate. McKenna Hogan, Kylie Folkwine, Sammy Severn. Fitch trails by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th.
It's catcher number 34, McKenna Hogan.
First pitch, strike thrown by Milena Toth, 0-1 to start. 19 strikeouts registered by Toth through 8 innings of work. Absolutely unbelievable in the circle has been the Canfield right-hander. The 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. One versus 2 in the YSN Power Rankings. In action for Game 2 of this set tomorrow at Canfield's McCoon Park. The 1-1. High and outside, 2-1.
And again, that's senior number 28, Taylor Morrison, now playing first base for the Cardinals.
Two and 1 the count on Hogan. Falcons trying to get the leadoff runner aboard. Swing and a miss, Hogan. Count evens on her now, 2-2. Toth looks for strikeout number 20 in the ballgame. The 2-2. Outside and high, they say. Count goes full for McKenna Hogan, requesting time to lace him up again. Big pitch coming in this bottom of the 9th inning. Falcons trying to get the tying run to first. Milena Toth looking for a critical first out here in extras. The payoff from Toth. Fouled back and staying alive at 3-2. Toth now at 138 pitches on the day. Hogan 2 for 3 on the day.
This will be pitch number 139 for Melena Toth.
Again, the payoff from Toth. Outside it goes. Ball 4 and the tying run aboard to start the 9th for Fitch. As McKenna Hogan has reached base 3 times, and maybe none bigger than that one right there. Brings Rachel Spaulding on to first tying run on first go-ahead run, winning run, now at the plate. Kylie Folkwine steps in.
Hogan again is number 3, Rachel Spaulding. Coming to the dish now for the Lady Falcons, center fielder number 13, Kylie Folkwine.
The first pitch to Folkwine. Tries to hold back on the trigger. Appeal to the bases umpire. Did not go around. 1-0.
Wow. That was pretty across the plate there.
Folkwine ahead in the count now. 1-0. Toth. The 1-0. Kylie Folkwine hits that one out to left, dropping in a hurry, but there to make the play. Freedy for out number 1 on the fly out. Runner retreats to first. There's one down. And Sammy Severn to take aim. 6-hole hitter and the spot for Austintown.
Standing in, designated player number 7, Sammy Severn.
First pitch to Severn. She goes swinging at the high heat, 0-1.
They got to be more selective too, and they got to know how her pitches move. And this is your 4th.
The 0-1. Fouling it back. Count now goes to 0-2 for Severn.
More of a hittable one there. 0-2.
With the count 0-2. Looking for the second out in the inning. Toth's pitch to Severn. And fouled off, staying alive is Severn, at least for the time being at 0-2. Abby Toth is in the on-deck circle for Fitch. The 0-2. Able to keep catching some pieces of the pitches of Toth. And that was pitch number 145 for Toth on this game. 0-2, the count stays on Severn. The 0-2. Leaving it up high. Spaulding taking off second base bag. She's going to get in there safely at the second base bag. Nice slide by Spaulding with the count 1-2. Tying run is in scoring position. Base hit. Could potentially score that tying run now for Fitch. 1-2, the count on Severn at the plate. Rachel Spaulding at second. The 1-2. Fouling it off. Nice at bat from Severn. Staying alive and protecting the zone quite well.
She had to reach up for it, but I think it went right in her mitt and then it popped out. So Kib is the ruling.
Stepping back onto the rubber in the circle. Again, the 1-2. That one lined up the middle. Single for Severn. Heading home is Rachel Spaulding on her horse. Falcons have tied the game. Severn heading to third. She ends up at the third base bag, 60 feet away from winning the ball game. Sammy Severn comes through with maybe the biggest hit of the night. It's 3-3. We're back to even here at the bottom of the ninth. And now for the Falcons, a fly out can win the game. Sammy Severn came into today batting .412, .512 on base percentage, only 3 RBIs on the season. Not someone you think of necessarily on this team for the RBIs, but her approach at the plate, unwavering and relentless fighting throughout the game, as Rachel Spalding able to touch the third base bag, come around and score. Knotted up 3 apiece. Severn will sit at third base. Abby Toth just trying to get something to the outfield. As Toth, Montgomery, and McLean, the next 3 due up, as another talk happening in the circle for Coach Kernan and staff. And Sydney Watts comes up and gives a big hug to Sam Severn and says, thank you so much for the big hit. And that was the definition of a battle, too, for Severn. A lot of teams talking strategies. Huge point in the ball game. Fitch, with a win, will clinch a share of the AAC championship for the 4th consecutive time. Canfield has a matchup with Boardman still looming, but a win here would do wonders for them trying to clinch the AAC this year. Abby Toth now steps in. Sammy Severn at third, winning run. Toth takes a first pitch ball, 1-0.
And look at it this way. Melania Toth walks her first batter and they cashed it in.
With the count 1-0. Toth just trying to get a piece of something. 2-0 the count. Severn retreats back to the third base bag. Not trying to give anything for Toth to try to line somewhere. With the count 2-0. Time is called by Toth. Melena Toth in the circle at 150 pitches now on the game. Both pitchers have done a buck and a half. 300 pitches thrown in this ball game. Swing and a miss. Big one drawn up from Melena Toth. 2-1 the count.
Maybe they're changing their strategy just slightly.
Abby Toth. Count 2-1. Knotted up 3 runs apiece here in the bottom of the 9th. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now.
Right on by. She's had no luck. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Toth 0 for 3 on the day. Melena Toth looking for strikeout number 20. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and she'll get it on the foul, tipped into the glove, and keep that runner at third, and a chance to get through the 9th. Still knotted up. Fitch hasn't led this whole ball game, but they're 1 swing away from winning it. But it's going to lay in the hands of Tina Montgomery. Montgomery's 0 for 3 on the day, but she could change her whole day around with 1 swing. Melena Toth looking for the final out of the inning. First pitch in there, 0-1. With the count 0-1 on Montgomery. Winning run in Severn at third. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Montgomery with the count 0-2 steps back in. Melena Toth's 0-2 offering. Ball outside, 1-2. These two teams have been deadlocked for 9 innings in a game of anything you can do, I can do better. Response runs in the 6th and the 9th by Fitch after 2 in the 6th by Canfield and 1 in the 9th has us knotted up at 3 apiece. Tina Montgomery stays alive with a foul ball. This conference battle continues. And we still have another game tomorrow, too. So you're getting extra innings in game 1, and we haven't even talked about game 2. Just as equal importance for both these squads. That one hit out towards right field, dropping in a hurry, but able to run it down is Treveri for the 3rd out here in the 9th. Falcons able to tie the game up 3 runs apiece, but I believe we're going to have to delay this game because of daylight at 3-3. They're going to talk things over with both coaches. We'll have an answer for you after this.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens. On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Handshakes are being gone all around, and we are going to have to suspend this ball game due to lack of daylight at a 3-3 ball game after 9 innings of play. So can you believe it? Of course, it's going to get a rain down of boos from both crowds. They want a decisive winner today. But how about that? Number 1 faces number 2 in the power rankings, and they can't decide a winner through 9 innings of softball. Unbelievable. We've had up to this point. We still have to settle this game, but we have tomorrow to do so, to try to finish this one and go into game 2 of the series. But we are knotted up 3 runs apiece after 9 innings of play. Milena Toth has struck out 21 in this ball game. Sydney Watts on the other side has fanned 17 on the day. So a lot of strikeouts on the day. Runs coming in the 6th, 2 and 2. And then, I got you. And then the 1 run scored in the 9th inning as well from both teams to tie this game up at 3. So we're going to have to continue this one tomorrow. We're going to have all the coverage and action of this on the network for you. Anthony Hartwig should be slated to make the call. Of course, stay tuned to our live games page, ysnlive.com/live, to get the full update of games, lists, and when they are occurring the day of. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and watching this broadcast of YSN Live Softball. To our proud owners, both DJ Yoakley and Brian Scott, who were able to bring this game to each and every person unable to make it in attendance tonight. To our GM, Steve Leslie, who with his work with Bobstein Park Baseball, YSU Football, and YSNLive.com, the many hats that Mr. Leslie wears, and we thank him for each and every single one of them. And most importantly, to all of you who tuned in and helped support these kids, schools, and communities, you guys are really and truly what YSN Live is all about. And so we thank you. If you were tuning in from the Canfield community supporting the Cardinals, we want to thank you for your continued and constant support of not only Canfield Athletics, but also YSNLive.com. Or if you're right here in the Austintown community supporting the Falcons, we want to thank you for your support of not only Austintown Fitch Athletics, but also YSNLive.com, or wherever you may be in the sport of high school softball. This is Ty Bartell bidding you all a farewell and a good night, everybody.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go